The story of the 1975 Australian 20-cent coin, a timeless piece of Australian identity and history. In the quiet corners of coin collections around the world, one small piece of metal often sparks curiosity and wonder. The 1975 Australian 20-cent coin bearing the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Marked simply as Elizabeth II Australia 1975 on the front, and featuring a graceful swimming platypus on the back, this coin is far more than everyday currency. It is a living artifact from a pivotal era in Australia's history, born from the nation's bold shift to decimal currency, crafted by visionary artists, and minted to serve a growing young democracy. Its story weaves together royal tradition, indigenous wildlife symbolism, engineering precision, and the everyday life of Australians in the 1970s. We will explore both sides of the coin, the people who created it, why and when it was made, and its intriguing value in today's international market, all told in an engaging narrative that brings history alive. Hello, friends. Welcome to Vault of Old Coins. Here, we bring you the oldest, the rarest, and the most mysterious coins from around the world. Do you want to know which coin is worth millions? Which coin is hiding one of history's biggest secrets? And which coin looks ordinary today, but could make you rich tomorrow? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's open the Vault of Old Coins. To truly appreciate this coin, we must journey back to the mid-20th century. Australia, as a Commonwealth nation under the British Crown, had long used the old imperial system of pounds, shillings, and pence, a system that dated back centuries but had become cumbersome in a modern, trade-driven world. Calculations were tricky, and international business favored the simpler decimal system used by most countries. In 1958, Prime Minister Robert Menzies promised a change. By 1963, the Australian government officially announced the switch to the Australian dollar, divided into 100 cents. A special decimal currency board was formed to educate the public. Changeover Day, or C-Day, arrived on February 14, 1966. Shops closed early, banks worked overtime, and a massive public campaign featuring TV jingles, "In come the dollars, in come the cents," and a friendly cartoon character called Dollar Bill helped millions of Australians adjust smoothly. The old notes and coins were withdrawn, and a new era began. Among the new decimal coins introduced in 1966 was the 20-cent piece, designed to replace the pre-decimal florin, which it matched in size and weight. The reverses of these coins were deliberately chosen to celebrate Australia's unique identity, featuring native animals and symbols rather than just monarchs or shields. The 20-cent coin's reverse would feature a platypus, a creature so strange that early European scientists thought it was a hoax stitched from different animals. This choice was no accident. It symbolized Australia's evolutionary wonders and its growing sense of national pride separate from Britain. The system proved successful, and production continued smoothly into the 1970s. Now, let's examine the front side, obverse, of the 1975 coin. It proudly displays the second official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, known as the machine effigy. The young queen is shown in a dignified right-facing bust, wearing the sparkling Girls of Great Britain and Ireland diamond tiara, a personal wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary, in 1947. The tiara, with its delicate pearls and diamonds, adds a touch of regal elegance. Encircling the portrait are the words, "Elizabeth II Australia 1975. This design was created by the celebrated British sculptor Arnold Machin, 1911 to 1999. Machin, who began as a pottery apprentice in Stoke-on-Trent, rose to fame for his sensitive royal portraits. His effigy was first selected for Australia's decimal coins in 1966, 2 years before it appeared on British coins in 1968. It also graced millions of British stamps, making it one of the most reproduced images in history. Machine captured not just likeness, but grace and continuity, reflecting Australia's ongoing link to the Commonwealth monarchy, even as the nation forged its own path. In 1975, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for 23 years, visiting Australia multiple times and becoming a beloved figure. Her portrait on the coin reminded citizens of stability amid the social changes of the 1970s, including economic growth, women's rights movements, and cultural shifts. The coin was produced by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, the nation's own mint, which had opened in 1965 to handle the new decimal coins locally. Earlier 1966 issues came from the Royal Mint in London. No mint mark appears on the 1975 coin, confirming it was struck in Canberra. Approximately 53.3 million pieces were minted that year, a huge number that ensured plenty of coins for daily use, in shops, buses, and pockets across the vast continent. Why was it made? Simply to keep the economy running smoothly. By 1975, the decimal system was firmly established, and the 20-cent coin was the workhorse for medium-value transactions, perfect for buying a newspaper, a bus ticket, or a snack. It was not a commemorative or special issue. It was practical, everyday money that represented Australia's confidence in its modern identity. Now let's turn the coin over to the reverse side, back. Here swims one of Australia's most extraordinary creatures, the platypus, Ornithorhynchus anatinus. The design shows the animal from above, gliding gracefully through swirling water currents. The number 20 floats clearly above its head, and if you look closely in the ripple near its right forepaw, you'll spot the tiny initials SD, the signature of the designer, Stuart Devlin. Stuart Devlin, 1931 to 2018, was the brilliant Australian artist, silversmith, and goldsmith who created this iconic reverse. Born in Geelong, Victoria, Devlin trained as a silversmith and won a prestigious scholarship that took him to the Royal College of Art in London. He later became official goldsmith to Queen Elizabeth II and was renowned for his intricate, whimsical designs in precious metals and jewelry. In the early 1960s, when Australia was preparing its new decimal coinage, the government invited leading artists to submit designs that would celebrate uniquely Australian themes. Devlin's platypus stood out for its elegance and movement. He sculpted the plaster model with delicate ripples that give the water a sense of flowing life. His initials SD are subtly hidden in almost every circulation 20-cent coin from 1966 until the design changed in 1995. This platypus became one of the most recognizable symbols of Australian coinage, representing Thestralian coinage, representing the nation's unique biodiversity and the sense of wonder in its natural world. The platypus itself is a fascinating choice. It is a monotreme, an egg-laying mammal found only in eastern Australia and Tasmania. When European scientists first saw specimens in the late 18th century, they thought it was a hoax. A duck's bill sewn onto a beaver-like body with otter feet and a venomous spur on the male's hind leg. By choosing the platypus, Devlin and the Decimal Currency Board highlighted Australia's evolutionary distinctiveness and helped foster national pride in the country's wildlife rather than relying solely on British symbols. The 20-cent denomination was introduced on 14th February 1966 as part of the full decimal currency rollout. The platypus reverse by Stuart Devlin and the machine obverse by Arnold Machine were both ready from the start. By 1975, 9 years into the decimal system, the coin was simply part of routine production to meet the everyday needs of a growing economy. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra struck 53,300,000, approximately 53.3 million, circulation coins that year. No special mint mark appears, confirming production in Canberra. There were also about 23,000 proof coins made for collector sets. The coin is made of copper-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighs 11.3 grams, has a diameter of 28.65 millimeters, and features a reeded, milled edge for security against clipping. 1975 was a turbulent yet transformative year in Australia. The nation was still adjusting to the social changes of the 1970s, women's rights, immigration, and a booming resources sector. Politically, it was the year of the dramatic dismissal. On November 11, 1975, Governor-General Sir John Kerr dismissed Prime Minister Gough Whitlam's Labour government amid a constitutional crisis over supply bills. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait on the coin that year carried extra symbolic weight, representing continuity and stability at a time of political upheaval. Interestingly, the Queen had visited Australia earlier in 1975. Her visit helped inaugurate the Order of Australia Honours system on 14th February. Her image reminded Australians of their ties to the Commonwealth, while the country asserted its own identity through symbols like the platypus. The 1975 20-cent coin is very common due to its high mintage. In circulated condition, it typically sells for a few dollars, often $50 to $500 US. Uncirculated or choice uncirculated examples might fetch $500 to $2,000 depending on grade and eye appeal. Proof versions from sets are worth more to collectors, around $8,000 to $300,000 US. High-value stories you may hear online usually refer to error coins, heavily toned specimens with dramatic coloration, or extremely rare varieties from other years, such as certain 1966, 1971, or 1974 errors. Standard 1975 examples remain affordable and accessible for beginners. In global auctions or on platforms like eBay, NGC, or PCGS, a typical gem uncirculated piece might realize $10 to $13 million, while bulk lots or mint rolls are even cheaper per coin. Its real value lies in its historical story rather than rarity. The coin's journey from design table to pocket to collection mirrors Australia's own story, moving from imperial traditions toward celebrating its unique land and wildlife while maintaining respectful links to the monarchy. Every time someone finds one in change, even today, after 51 years, it connects them to the optimism of the 1960s decimal changeover, the artistry of Machine and Devlin, and a moment when Australia proudly put a swimming platypus on its money.